everyone, Eric Dillman here, and welcome to episode 25 of the Pro Series podcast. Today's guest, her name is Cori from East Coast DIY. She shares her home renovation journey to over 5 million of her TikTok followers while her husband is overseas. We talk about her success in the TikTok world, her career, and all about social media and social media influencers. But before we jump into the episode, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast on wherever you listen to your podcast. But now, I hope you enjoy episode 25 with Cori from East Coast DIY. Well, Cori, thank you for taking some time out of your day, your busy schedule. I saw on, I think it was your YouTube, that you were listed as, you also a teacher and a realtor.
Yeah, so I've been a teacher. I was a teacher for 8 years. I just recently stopped teaching. So right before Christmas break, I had put in my notice and didn't go back after Christmas break. But yeah, I was a teacher for 8 years.
How did you handle being a mom, a wife, a teacher, and a realtor all at the same time, and do this TikTok and social media stuff?
And my husband gone because he's in the military, so he's still gone. And so yeah, doing it. You know, people ask me that all the time, and I wish I had the answer. I don't know. I'm pretty good at multitasking, and I love to stay busy. So it's kind of helped me out. And sharing, like, you know, renovating the house and then being able to share it on TikTok, and you have like that support now, and people are just like waiting for your content. And it's been like the biggest motivation, really. And now, you know, seeing it grow from 0 followers, you know, a year and a half ago to now over 4 million. I mean, it's just like inspiring in itself. So it just kind of pushes me, because there's days that, you know, I don't want to get out of bed like anyone else. You know what I mean? I'd rather just be, but I'm like, okay, these people are waiting for me to finish this room. And, you know, just the amount of support, it's just been, it's something I've never even dreamt of. You know, social media was never anything even in my head. I wasn't ever really into social media. So in May of 2020, posting my first TikTok, like I never imagined what it would become now.
That's crazy. I want to talk about TikTok. I first want to thank your husband for his service. That's amazing. And it's probably very, very hard right now, but hopefully he'll be home soon. Yeah,
he's coming home February.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so it's the final countdown.
That's awesome. How long has he been gone?
His orders were for 400 days. But he was able to use some of the time, like his leave time, to leave a little bit early, because technically he shouldn't be home until like end of February or end of March, beginning of April. So, but he's going to be coming home February. Yeah.
Does he know how big you got on TikTok and all this stuff?
He does. So when he left, because he left in February of 2021. And so at that time I had about 500,000 followers on TikTok, and he knew I was kind of posting stuff about the house, and you know, he's like my biggest fan. He really is. And so then when he left is when I had gotten accepted into this challenge through Instagram to renovate one room in the house. And so I chose to do the bathroom. And right when I got accepted to do that, it was around the same exact time that he received his orders to get deployed. And so at first I was like, I'm not doing this on my own. Like, we've done house projects before, and, you know, always together and had each other for support. But I was like, I'm not doing this on my own. And then I'm like, you know what, I can do it. So I did that 6-week challenge, and then it kind of just like one room led to the next, because it was, you know, like I had the wall opened up when I could see plumbing. So then I was like, oh, I might as well do this at the same time, or do this. So it's kind of just like, and I was trying to keep it a surprise to, you know, do the entire house for him. But people started he didn't have TikTok at the time, but people started recognizing his face, and was like, you know, it was like with social media and stuff, it was kind of like, okay, I can't really keep this a surprise, you know, and our bank account. Like, I mean, I'm spending a lot of money doing this kind of stuff. So, I mean, he has to be involved somewhat. So yeah, he, you know, he's seen it all. I always tell people, like, he's only seen what you've seen on my videos and through TikTok, you know? So for him to see it like in person, it's going to be pretty cool.
You should record that. That'd be cool to see.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I think I have 4 million people waiting for his reaction.
Oh, so. Yeah. Behind you, are you in your house right now?
Yeah. So this is the coffee bar I did. This was like project 3, maybe. So this was just like a wall in our dining room, and I turned it into a coffee bar. So
that looks like, I thought you were in a cafe, like behind the scenes cafe. That
Yeah,
is
no. So
insane.
we used to own a coffee shop, and because of COVID, it was inside of a shopping mall. And
Mhm.
when COVID hit, I mean, the entire mall just kind of it pretty much is like a ghost town in there now. Our lease was actually up December of 2020, and so we were like, we are not renewing it because I mean, sales were I can't even. I mean, instead of making like in 1 month, say like 500,000, we made like $50,000. Like that's the hit it took as far as like sales. So we're like, we're just not renewing our lease. We'll kind of see what happens with COVID and the world and all that kind of stuff. And so instead of keeping our like espresso machine in storage and just having it like nowhere, I decided to bring it to the house
Yeah,
and
why not?
turn it into a coffee bar.
Yeah, it looks good. So
Yeah, thank you.
with TikTok, I'm fascinated with TikTok. I've had maybe like one TikTok that went viral. Everything else is kind of like flunked. What is your, I mean, you people ask me this on Instagram, what are your secrets to growing? But what are some tips for someone that wants to get into the TikTok world to get noticed and get more views and followers?
It's funny because I didn't really go into this trying to like make it big or like be big. So, I mean, all I've done throughout the entire thing is just like been like my authentic self. People see like how passionate I am about like building and renovating and doing these DIYs. And so it comes like easy for me just to kind of show them what I'm doing because they can feel that like I'm not being like I'm not being fake about it. Like this
Yeah.
is kind of what I do and here's what it is. But I think they feel the passion behind it. They also see like, dang, I can do that too. Like I get many messages from men and women everywhere that are like, you are inspiring me to go and tackle this project at the house that I never thought was possible. I was going to pay a contractor X amount of dollars. And after watching you, like you made me feel like I can totally do it. And so, I think just like the inspiration behind it, but finding like that niche or, find something that you're passionate about, because I feel like if you're not passionate about it, it takes consistency. It takes
Mhm.
posting, if not daily, a few times a week to be able to grow. And so if you're not like passionate about what you're doing, it's going to like the audience is going to see it. You're not going to
Mhm.
gain followers. You're not, because it's all about that consistency. If they see that you haven't posted in a month, most likely they're not going to follow you. You're just kind of like a one hit wonder for your video. And so I think that's what it's been about. And if it's something that like you're not, I keep saying the word passion, but passionate about, like your followers are going to see that. And why would they follow you if it's just a one-time thing that you're trying to show? So I've kind of
Exactly.
just trying to been real about it, taking them along the journey of renovating one room. And, I try to post every day to see kind of, yeah, this is what I was able to do in a day. And I get those people that are like, okay, you're not done with this project yet. It's taking you like 2 weeks to do the project. Yeah, like this is an HGTV. Like I am working in real time and, showing you the struggles throughout it. And, I'm not perfect. I am not a builder. I was a teacher. And so, I'm learning as I go. If I don't know how to do something, I'll YouTube it. And, you can find hundreds of tutorials on how to do something.
Mhm.
And it's kind of just, I watch it, I learn, I try it. If I mess up, I'll try it again, and again, I look at some of my first projects and I'm like, oh, wow, I could have done that a lot better. But, it's just about that whole learning process and kind of bringing my followers on that journey with me is what I feel like was like the key to gaining now 4 million followers.
Yeah. Uh, Out of all the, so you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram. What is your favorite social media? I mean, in our world, where it's like a perfect niche and hobby to be on social media because it's so visual. Videos and pictures really show well with our businesses. What is your favorite social media out of all of them?
So I started TikTok May of 2020, and then I started Instagram probably February of 2021, maybe February, March. So I
Okay.
started Instagram right when I was doing the Jeffrey Court Renovation Challenge because it was a challenge based through Instagram. So they accepted me to the
Oh,
competition, to this challenge with other designers based on my TikTok following at the time. But technically, it was only supposed to be through Instagram. So they were like, you need to start an Instagram account. Like this is kind of where we're based on, like the posts that you have to make and things like that have to be posted through Instagram. So that's where I kind of started it. I mean, I was all in on TikTok and nothing else and up until,
that's insane.
February, March of 2021. And then I would say or YouTube, I probably just started kind of like reposting my TikToks maybe 3-4 months ago. I'm just kind of guessing there, but it's only been a few months that I've been just kind of reposting content from before, and then kind of just making tutorials a little bit like along the way. Like I wish I would have, started YouTube back when I started like TikTok, because it would have been easier to process like and edit and do things like that and explain the whole thing behind it. So just like last week, since I'm not teaching anymore and, don't have my 9-to-5 job, I've been taking the time to, like, as I'm recording, to talk about it. And it just makes, making a YouTube so much easier, because I'm doing it along the way rather than going back through all my videos and now trying to edit, weeks worth of, or, hours and hours and weeks worth of work into like a video and then make a tutorial out of it with voiceover. So it's been a little difficult, because each one is so different. With TikTok, you want a minute video. With Instagram, I mean, it could be a little bit longer. YouTube, they want it even longer. So the amount of, like editing and filming and stuff, like people don't realize what goes into this. And it's like, not only am I trying to, do all this stuff around the house and hurry up and have this timeline, but then also I spend, sometimes hours a day editing to make a video, and now trying to do it to 3 different platforms is even been, it's even been a little bit harder, just because, normally I can kind of post my TikTok to my Instagram and be fine with it. But then, and I can also post it to like YouTube shorts, but then those people want the longer videos.
Yeah.
And it takes time. And so if you haven't, filmed yourself and talking in the video, and now having to go back and do it and figure out, okay, well, what was that cut that I made? Like, what was that measurement? I'm like pretty much trying to recreate a whole thing that I had done months prior. So
yeah,
it's definitely been, but TikTok is my baby.
Is it? So that's funny you bring that up. A lot of people always talk about like how if someone comes TikTok famous or Instagram famous and they become an influencer, how easy their lives will be and all that stuff. But if you really, I mean, I just watched Hype House. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's on.
Oh, I watched it. Yeah.
It shows you the not even in detail as much as we go through, but like the meetings, the video editing, the content creating. It's a lot of work to get an account up and running and consistent that people don't really realize.
Yeah. And it's funny because, I watched that with my daughter. I have, younger kids. So I watched Hype House on Netflix with my daughter. And, but I was like, okay, sometimes I'm like, I wish I would have been able to just do something that, really, truly, they missed so many opportunities of filming. Like they could have just filmed everyone in front of, like, when they went on that little trip in front of the bonfire. Like, really, that's all they had to do. I'm like, I sit back and sometimes I'm like, okay, I kind of created like this whole other thing where like, it takes me all day or a week to build something, then make one post out of it, where nothing against like TikTok dancers. Like I wish I could just dance, because that would be awesome, but I'm not a dancer. But I'm thinking to myself like, okay, if I could have just learned to dance and posted it, like it would have been a whole lot easier, So to maintain the, what I'm doing, it's difficult. So starting off, I mean, I don't know if it's something that, is sustainable. I don't know.
I actually always thought that too. I mean, TikTok dancing and all that stuff is hard. It's hard work that they do that I can't do, but it's free. And that's the one thing with like stuff that we do. We have to buy all this stuff just to make a video. Yeah. So it's hard financially just to create content.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I started off, trying to see kind of what route my account would go at. I started to do like Amazon finds over quarantine. Like I had seen a couple TikTokers do like, the Amazon finds. And so I started that out on my account too. And, people weren't sending me products to advertise. So I would buy these Amazon products, which I probably would have bought anyways, because, I try to show things that I really use and really like, to stay like genuine with my followers. But, I bought everything that I would be on there, and I was like Amazon find number, I don't even know, 50. And I would show, kind of what the product is and, go that route too. But yeah, it's expensive. I mean, it gets pricey now with the following. I mean, I have companies that send me things and it's a little bit different, but again, I try to stay genuine with my followers. If it's something that I don't like, I'll tell the company like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't put my name behind that. So and there's been a few things that I've been like, oh my gosh, I wish I never would have advertised that or posted that. But, who knows? Just because I didn't necessarily like it doesn't mean other people wouldn't. So, but I try to stay pretty much true to, myself throughout
I'm
it
the
all.
same way. But like the way I grew, at least on Instagram, was collaborating with companies and other people. So, I mean, even though that, I mean, I don't regret taking it just because it probably helped me in the long run with connections with the company or with other people. But I feel you on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, I look back, I'm like, wait, what? Even like the way that I said and explained things, I was just like, it's funny because, again, my intention was never to, oh, I'm going to become, a TikToker. Like, that's what I'm going to do. It was just like, I'm a mom, I'm a teacher. Like, I'm just going to start posting for fun over here on, because we were quarantined and I just got hooked pretty much. I mean, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And, again, I didn't have the YouTube and the YouTube's all new to me. I was so excited because I reached like 100,000 followers. So I'm like, yay, I get like the silver thing sent to me, which I haven't gotten in the mail yet, but, yeah. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. So like my goal for the new year was to reach like 2 million on, 3 million on TikTok, 200,000 on Instagram, and then 100,000 on YouTube. So it was funny because I surpassed my goal on TikTok by 1 million. And yeah, I went from, just May of 2021, I had just hit 1 million. So from May to 7 months, not even 6-7 months, I gained 3 million followers.
That's insane.
Yeah. Insane.
I feel like,
and then like YouTube, I hit 100, and then Instagram, I went over to, I think it was at like 220,000. So I was just like, I try to set goals kind of.
Yeah.
Just for myself. I don't even
do
know.
The same
like,
thing.
It's not even, yeah, I don't know. I guess that must be like a content creator thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it didn't do anything other than like, I'm like, oh yeah, I did it,
Yeah. You always have to have goals, even if it's follower related or social media related. I feel like if you listen to a lot of these social media stars and the really big ones, they always exactly say what you just said. They didn't do it to get famous or get popular in any way. It just happened. And that's, I mean, I feel like you could see the people that are really trying hard to get famous and try to be that next TikTok viral star, but, and they usually don't go well because they're very staged. And I think the authenticity, the nice, realistic videos that you have really show through. And that's probably why you have all your following.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And like I said, the amount of support that I've received has been crazy, just from men and women of all ages, just being like, thank you so much for showing me that. Like, you've taught me so much. Even kids are like, oh my gosh, I want to do this to my house when I get older. Like, I mean, really, it's just like, it's 95% of them are so supportive and motivational. And, you get your 5% that, are going to say anything on anyone's page. So I just kind of, and that took a little bit too, to get used to, just because I, not being familiar with social media, I was like, oh wow, these are like, there's mean people in this world. And it kind of it made realization to me, being a teacher, like, wow, these kids are facing a lot that like I didn't have to face as a kid, and it made like the whole, like bullying and everything come to life, because as a teacher, you hear about things, but I never really saw it firsthand, and especially happening to, like me and stuff, and not necessarily, I wouldn't say bullying, but just like rude comments, things that, what was the point of saying that, that got you absolutely nowhere, just because you're hiding behind your, phone or computer, typing whatever you want to type. But, I had to put on some tough skin and just be like, okay, I don't even acknowledge that anymore, just because what's the point?
Oh yeah. It's insane. Like the amount of comments and that I've deleted or messages that I get, it's just absolutely insane that why people would take their time out of the day to say nasty stuff like that. And most of them make fake accounts just so they could say mean things. It's insane.
Yeah, I've experienced that. And I just, like I said, I've just kind of learned to, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Now, if I had 50% of my people bad mouthing me, that'd be something different. But the 95% that are my supports, you know what I mean? They've kind of kept me motivated. And keep me going and moving. And, it's exciting because now I'm like, okay, well, what's my next project going to be? My husband's going to be home. So, and we've always been into flipping houses, renovating houses, that sort of thing. And so, I'm just like, okay, I got to keep, content going because people are like, what are you going to do next? It's kind of like, I never had to think that far ahead, like, okay, what am I going to do? So, so it's been a journey for sure. And, I don't know what the future has in store. I've made, done collaborations with companies that I never, ever expected to. And so, I don't know.
What are you going to do
like,
when your house is completely done? You would completely renovate your house.
Getting we close on a condo next week.
Okay.
So we're going to be renovating that. And so that kind of works out perfect time where it might be where I don't know, maybe I'll finish it before he even comes home. I don't know, but I'm thinking I'm going to slow it down so he can help me. Because it used to be where like he had his things that he would do. I had my things that I would do. You know what I mean? And it kind of worked where it was like, I would do the finishing work and he would do, like the rough work or whatever. But now that he knows that I can do everything, he's like, oh, don't let me think that you're going to just sit around and, paint after this is done. Like now I know that you can actually build the entire house. Like you can't fool me now. So it kind of backfired on me just a little bit with my husband.
I can't wait to see that. And I can't wait to see his reaction videos of what you did in your house.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, oh shoot, now I have to actually clean this house. Okay, like this is gonna be the hardest part. Living through a construction zone. I mean, right now you can't even walk through my kitchen because I have everything from like my daughter's room on the project that I'm working on now out in the kitchen. So I'm just like, okay, it's people don't realize it's not a magazine worthy house at all times. Yeah.
Look behind the camera. I always tell that people.
Exactly.
It looks so nice in the picture, but behind the camera, no, it does not look good.
No, not so much at all. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I want to make sure everybody follows you on Instagram at East Coast Florida DIY, YouTube at East Coast DIY, and TikTok at East Coast DIY.
Yes. Yeah. They're all East Coast DIY except for Instagram. Someone already had that one. So I had to add a little bit of Florida in there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cori, for coming on.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.